Welcome to the Off the Tools podcast, in association with the Worcester Bosch 8000 Lifestyle Range, with your host, Wayne Bettis.
Welcome to this episode of Off the Tools. Today is a little bit of a different episode. Anyone that's in the Off the Tools group on Facebook may know the name Bex Inglis. She is a virtual PA. She does work for me and a few other guys in the group. She kindly put together a very detailed article based around what things that you can do. So like a sort of strategy and step-by-step guide on what you can do during this pandemic to try and secure your life and your business. So I'm going to read the article. So I've not done this before, so bear with me. I'm going to do my best because I know it's really good articles, and the link to the full article will be in all the posts and everything. But some people won't read, but they might listen to it, and I really want to get it out there. So sit back and have a little listen. Coronavirus is having a significant impact on our way of life, with non-essential businesses closing their doors until this is over. Now more than ever, we need to be looking at our finances and figuring out how are we going to survive. Many of us have had a massive shock to the system, with our businesses effectively stopping overnight. The government has rolled out schemes to help businesses throughout this period. This article will look at the critical points of some of these available. Coronavirus Business Interruption Loan Scheme. This new scheme is now open to applications. It can provide funds of up to £5 million for companies experiencing lost or deferred revenue that leads to disruption in their cash flow. The scheme covers loans, overdrafts, and other business financial products. The benefit to businesses is that the lender will pay the fees to access the scheme, with companies incurring no upfront costs and lower initial repayments. The scheme is available to businesses that are UK-based, small to medium enterprise, have an annual turnover of no more than £45 million, generate more than 50% of its turnover from trading activity, that wish to borrow up to £5 million, have a borrowing proposal which the lender would consider viable, where it is not the COVID-19 pandemic, believes it will enable you to trade out of any short-term to medium-term difficulties. There are over 40 accredited lenders across the UK, and the full list can be found in the full article, which the link is in the descriptions. Businesses will need to approach lenders themselves, which can usually be done via the lender's website. Whether the finance is offered or not will depend on the lender's decision. Lenders will try to provide finance on standard commercial terms before using the scheme. If a lender turns you down, you can approach other lenders within the scheme. It is important to remember that this will become a debt, and 100% of the liability will be with the borrower. Coronavirus Self-Employment Income Support Scheme. There is help available for those of us who are self-employed. The Self-Employment Income Support Scheme will allow claimants to receive a taxable grant worth 80% of the trading profits for the next 3 months. Those eligible for the scheme will be contacted by HMRC to submit a claim online. HMRC will use data from the 2018-2019 tax return that has already been submitted. Side note, they have given a month's extension for anyone that has yet to declare the 18-19 self-assessment return. To apply for this, you must be self-employed, you must have submitted the 2018-19 tax return and traded in that tax period. You must be trading on application, or would be if not for the COVID-19 pandemic. You must intend on continuing to trade in the 2020 to 2021 tax period. must have a trading profit of less than £50,000 a year, have lost partnership trading profits due to COVID-19. If you have yet submitted your 18-19 tax return, you have up until the 23rd of April 2020 to do so. Grants awarded under this scheme should start to be paid from the beginning of June 2020. Any money received under the scheme will need to be declared on your next tax return. This means that it is a taxable income. So like receiving money from a job, you will be liable for the tax to be paid on the amount that you receive. The Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme. This is a temporary scheme that is looking to be live by the end of April 2020. The Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme will provide a grant to companies to reimburse up 80% of the employee's monthly wage or salary, up to a total value of £2,500 per month, and the associated employer's national insurance contributions. This grant will be taxable and subject to national insurance in the usual way. The scheme will be open for at least 3 months, starting from the 1st of March 2020, to all employers that started a PAYE scheme on or before the 28th of February 2020. It will apply to all employers that currently have or intend to have employees on leave of absence during the coronavirus. Furlough has been a minimum of 3 weeks to qualify. I'm going to recap on that last bit because I made a mess of it, so my apologies. It will apply to all employers that currently have or intend to have employees on leave of absence due to the coronavirus. Furlough has to be for a minimum of 3 weeks to qualify. Before you put an employee on furlough, you should speak with them beforehand, as this will class as a change to their employment contract. Once furlough has been agreed, this will need to be put into writing and to keep a record of the communications. Once an employee is on furlough, they cannot, I repeat, cannot undertake any work on behalf of your company. Once the scheme is activated, a company will be able to make a claim once every 3 weeks and backdate it to the 1st of March if necessary. Employees must have been employed by the company on or before the 28th of February 2020, currently be or will be furloughed. It is important to note that these schemes will be working beside each other. Due to the reduction in the salary to 80%, an employee may be able to claim universal credit to make up the shortfall. As a director, you should be able to claim this for yourself as long as you take a salary through the PAYE scheme before the 28th of February 2020. They've used this date to avoid any mispractice and fraud. So hopefully that clarifies. The next bit of help that is available is the Universal Credit System. Many people I've recently spoken to are not claiming universal credit, even if they are entitled to something, because they don't see the point. Realistically, universal credit will be there to supplement the loss of income that many individuals are going to experience due to the effects of COVID-19. Make sure you have applied for universal credits. Universal credit is worked out every month using your income figures from the month before. This means that anyone with a fluctuation in income will see a change in the amount of universal credits that lands in their account. From 6th of April 2020, the minimum income floor will not be applied to the universal credit during the coronavirus pandemic. Side note, you may already be claiming some benefits that will now fall under universal credit. Once you trigger a change in circumstances, you will be on the universal credit for the future and will not go back to the older system. To see what you are entitled to under the universal credits, there are a few websites that you can see in the full article, link is in the description, and there is a calculator for you to calculate what you potentially will be entitled to under universal credits. What else can I do? It's worth bearing in mind that while options are limited, that does not appear to be a limit on what we can potentially claim. As an example, you might not be eligible for the self-employment scheme. However, you may still qualify for the business interruption loan scheme and the universal credits and the job retention scheme. We also need to look at our businesses and personal finances with a fine-tooth comb. Many companies will still be sitting on unpaid invoices. These funds are vital to ensure your business's survival. So get on it and call them in. Bearing in mind that times will be hard for your customers, you can treat each invoice on a case-by-case basis and have a payment plan on hand to help those in need. For advice on credit control processes, please see one of our other articles on our website. Again, the link will be in all the descriptions and in the full article. Make a list of all your outgoings you have. Martin Lewis has a great budgeting tool that will help you figure out where you can afford to cut some costs and reduce your outgoings. Again, the link is in the full article, so make sure you click over to that to head over to that link. Talk to any companies that you have direct debits with, such as your gas, electric, water, council tax, TV packages, credit cards, etc. You may be surprised at the available help. It's always worth a phone call to see if they're willing to reduce your payments or put it on hold. Definitely worth exploring. History shows that businesses can and will be rebuilt. The plumbing and heating industry is for most part indestructible. When this is over, you will be needed. So above all, remember to keep you and your family safe, wash your hands, practice safe social distancing, and remember, health before wealth. There's a full list of all the sources to everything we've discussed in this article. A massive thank you to Bex from Princess PA for taking the time out to produce this article. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you found some value from it. Keep safe, people, and we'll get through this together. Have a good day.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by Off the Tools in association with the Worcester Bosch 8000 Lifestyle Range.